Hello and welcome to another anime lore and theory video, and today I will paint you a beautiful picture of what precisely would happen if Lupusregina Beta would have been transported into the world of Goblin Slayer. So it's going to be a cross-anime battle video between some rather sadistic beings. But before we're going to do so, let me quickly thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, and say my thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. And with that said, let's dive into the topic at hand. In this scenario, Lupusregina Beta is spontaneously teleported into the world of Goblin Slayer, more precisely into a goblin nest. She wears her usual attire and carries her scepter, but she lacks any other gear, so she does not arrive with dozens of healing potions or her own goblin support, or anything like that. Now, she finds herself in a goblin nest. So, what would happen? Firstly, Lupusregina Beta would be quite surprised to find herself in a different place, while the goblins would immediately notice her and attempt to overpower her, and to do what goblins normally do. However, Lupusregina might be somewhat distracted and not entirely focused on the situation, thus allowing the goblins to strike first, without any problems. Let's say a goblin hits her over the head with a club, while another tries to stab her with a poisoned dagger through her maid uniform, right into her back, ideally targeting her spine to render her immobilized. But instead of losing consciousness, all they hear is a short and somewhat adorable sounding "ow" as the club hits. And instead of the dagger effortlessly penetrating the maid uniform, it bounces off because the materials only look like regular fabric. In reality, they are very rare and powerful armor, and typically only available to top-level players. Before the goblin behind Lupusregina can react, he gets a blow from her scepter and dies instantly. However, instead of being delighted, the Pleiades looks a little disappointed at the gooey mess now sticking to the cave walls, which leaves the goblin in front of her frozen in fear. He has never felt such terror in his life before. The screams and sounds of the battle naturally attract more goblins, all of whom run along the narrow corridor, following the battle noises and the smell of a woman. Each one tries to squeeze past the other to be first, but they are all thrown aside by two gigantic hobgoblins. They run shoulder to shoulder down the narrow cave, only to come to a standstill in shock. Meanwhile, some goblins manage to squeeze through between their legs, and they see a young maid with red hair who is leisurely just tearing off the last of the goblin limb, before flashing a truly sinister grin. Instantly their blood freezes in their veins, while some of the less observant goblins prepare to attack again. Lupusregina enters the close combat without looking particularly concerned. Her scepter now rests on her back, making room for her two fists, as she takes out one goblin after another. Of course, the smiling sadist ensures that she only targets the stomach and the intestines, avoiding the heads and lungs. After all, she wants to have her fun with the goblins. The two hobgoblins now snap out of their shock and decide to attack from both sides at the same time. They put all of their strength into their punches, but their fists hit what feels like hardened steel. Every single finger and hand bone is instantly shattered as Lupusregina Beta counters the double blow with her own two fists. And, as she was just in the process of breaking her opponent's feet with a sweeping kick, suddenly the ground beneath her splits open and she is pressed against the cave ceiling. A gigantic metal club, larger than Lupusregina Beta herself, emerges from the ground. When gravity finally overcomes the force of the blow, both the hobgoblins, now squashed, and Lupusregina Beta fall underneath, only to be struck by the club again during their descent. Lupusregina blocks the blow with her scepter, breaking through the barrier wall of the underground arena and finally ending up high in the stone-built spectator stands. Initially, Lupusregina was bewildered by how shabby this place looked compared to Nazarick. It wasn't until she cast her first glance at her adversary that she noticed the creature before her, a giant, a super hobgoblin, a demon, or perhaps all of these things combined. She didn't know, and she had other things on her mind. Without waiting for an explanation from the leader, she jumped back into the arena. The giant goblin demon prepared for another attack, sliding his club over the ground to gather momentum, intending to sending Lupusregina literally flying to the ceiling again. However, Lupusregina blocked the club with her scepter. Just as the half-demon had planned, he immediately releases the club, causing Lupusregina Beta to tip forward. In that moment, she received a blow from the giant metal-clad fist of his, and she was sent flying into the spectator stand again, this time considerably further, hitting a pillar holding up a higher level seat, causing all of them to collapse. The goblin demon charged now towards the heap of rubble where Lupusregina was situated. He swung his enormous club and hit the middle of the heap, realizing that the club hadn't met soft flesh, but something like a stone pillar or granite. He was about to investigate further when a scepter burst from the rubble, quickly reaching his retracting head and taking away his eyesight. Where both his eyes used to be, there's now only a massive bloody ditch. A kick directly to his stomach tore through his intestines, causing him to fall back into the center of the arena. Now goblins from all sides attacking the battlemate in rapid order. But the smiling sadist wanted to save her, torturing this victim in front of her without a disturbance for once, and immediately turned any attacking goblins into a pulp. Meanwhile, the demon goblin leader watched helplessly, silently hoping that the sheer number of goblins would drain Lupusregina's strength. Suddenly, he felt a warm sensation and he hoped that everything might turn out alright. And his now healed eyes began to open again. Before him stood the smiling sadist, or rather her true werewolf form. He realized that his monster could also use magic, and shortly thereafter, how agonizing fire magic could be. After about half an hour, Lupusregina sensed the teleportation spell that brought her into this world starting to work again. With a final blow, she relieved her enemy from all of the pain she has caused and returned to Nazarick. And that's more or less how I believe the battle between Lupusregina Beta and the goblins of the world of Goblin Slayer and some leader of them would go about. Lupusregina, her gear, and her sheer power and level would be similarly overpowered in the world of Goblin Slayer as she is in the new world of Overlord. And with that said, now it's your turn. Do you agree or disagree with my little battle video? Let me know down in the comment section. And while you type, let me quickly say thank you very much for watching and special thanks to Arder Daddy Arder, ASK, Bad Guy Ye, Bad Burrito 316, Beezer, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Dragonlord Placido Saxophone, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Feralchivan, Guy with That Hat, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Love Razor, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R., Michael Y., Nope, Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, O'Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantum, Personage, Primus 11, Rhinomere, Q&A Caracos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rak Edsmeshar, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Xenukai, and Zonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon under my next video.